Okay, we're going to talk about self-worth and self-esteem, both aspects of self-love and self-acceptance. And do you remember last week when I mentioned that we each have about 70,000 thoughts a day, and 80% of those thoughts are negative thoughts? And it's no wonder that we have maybe a low self-esteem or a feeling of low self-worth or unworthiness when we can't help it, but we start projecting these negative thoughts onto and into ourselves and onto others and even into our lives. So we do that when we are walking around unconsciously, like the majority of the population, but not when we're mindful and using emotional intelligence. So another reason to stay mindful and make mindfulness a habit so you can realize your thoughts and your behaviors. So an important thing to realize is that, oftentimes our worthiness and our self-esteem is based on extrinsic factors like your achievements, your qualities that you portray, and things that you've done. But that's not it at all. Those are based on judgments. And when we are worthy, it comes from within. And we don't have to prove ourselves. We don't have to do anything or not do something to be worthy. We already are worthy. We already have it in us. We're worthy. And we need to believe that and work on that through our journaling processes about our thoughts that we have developed and our beliefs from a young age, again, like before 7. So our minds are pretty immature at that time. And we form these beliefs and thoughts that really no longer serve us right now as we have matured into adults. But yet our unconscious minds are still living back then with those thoughts and beliefs. So that takes a lot of mindfulness and journaling to eliminate those. And let's start thinking about the positive thoughts that we receive every day, those 20% positive thoughts, and maybe even make it into 30 or 40 or 50% positive thoughts. And we can do this with our emotional intelligence, being mindful of what we're putting into our brains. So, and oftentimes our self-esteem comes from our self-worth. In society, self-esteem is totally a lot based on judgment. We're often judged or we judge ourselves. We compare ourselves to, people our age and in our circle, we're comparing, they have a bigger house than me, or I have 2 cars, they only have 1, or, I have a boat and they don't. I don't know you can decide what your judgments are, but a lot of that is based on that. And also then you self-judge yourself as far as maybe it's an impetus to do better than your parents. And that if you can do better than what your parents have done, does that feed your self-esteem? But that isn't how it works, because any type of love and any aspect of love and acceptance and self-worth and self-esteem comes without judgment, without proving, without comparing. It all comes from within. And this is where we build our strengths. When we truly unconditionally love ourselves and accept ourselves for who we are as a person, we have that we nurture and grow into this self-worth and self-esteem. A lot of times people think self-esteem is, you have like, you're just self-centered, or you have a really big ego, or you're even narcissistic, but that is not it at all. We have worth, we have self-esteem because we are valued and valuable and worthy, regardless of our qualities, achievements, our strengths, regardless of anything. It's how we feel. When you have self-esteem, you feel comfortable. You feel content with who you are in this life, where you are, and what you have. And it doesn't have to be better, bigger, more than anybody else. As long as you're happy with where you are, who you are, that's all that matters, because this is your life. You encompass your worth and your self-esteem through your self-acceptance and your love. And we nurture that through our self-care, which is what we're going to talk about next.